So I am joined by my client Nathan Nazareth, who has just finished the first phase of us working together. What's happening, bro?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm very good, man. I really appreciate you agreeing to jump on and just have a chat with me. So it's been, I think it's around like 5, 6 months we've been working together now. So what I'd love to know is what was the catalyst in the first place that got you engaging with me and bringing me on board to support you?
Yeah, so I think it was more about self-reflection rather than, some, particular catalyst or moment where it was revealed to me that I needed to, work on my speaking ability. Because when I sat back and I was, reflecting on my performance as a content creator and, on YouTube and Instagram and all these social platforms, I realized there's really only a few big levers that I can pull that will kind of get me to the next level and of course grow my accounts and grow my impact and grow my reach and everything. And I have amazingly talented people helping me out, when it comes to editing, scripting, all that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, what can I do that's within my control to really take me to the next level?
Hmm.
And when I thought about a lot of the people in the space that I admire or look up to, or people that just pull significant views across any industry, not just mine, I realized that all these people have one thing in common, and it's that they're just very good at speaking. They're very good
Hmm.
at captivating their audience and holding them there and telling stories and making the boring and mundane really exciting and interesting.
Hmm.
And so at that point, I basically just started sifting through my existing network and asking anybody if they had any connection to a speaking coach. And then, through a friend of mine in the YouTube space as well, he just, connected me over to you, and we pretty much just jumped on a call like a day or two after,
Yep.
and that was it. Like from the first call, like just, closed, paid in full, was ready to go.
Yeah.
And I didn't even bother with, assessing and any kind of other options because when we got on the call, it was like you didn't really have to close me because your ability yourself as a speaker was like, okay, that's the guy, like the way that he's talking to me right now on call is like kind of a level that I want to get to when I'm on calls or,
Hmm.
when I'm delivering presentations. And so I think just you actually walking the talk and, embodying everything that you do and teach was enough for me to realize, okay, Stephen is the guy that I want to learn this from and sort of go on this journey with. And then ever since then, we've been working closely together and still have a
Hmm.
lot more to come and a lot of a lot of valuable stuff has been shared. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's always fascinating to me how you can jump on a call with someone, never had any contact with them before, and some people you just hit it off with, and that was definitely the case with us. You know what I mean? I don't know whether it's the Vancouver link, when there's so many times when I was younger, but it just, sometimes it just works like that. And yeah, I'm really glad that I've had the opportunity to support you because one thing that's really clear with you, you are committed to excellence in everything you do. So you've been like a sponge over the last 5 or 6 months. So let's just dive into a little bit about what would you say is the biggest takeaway, or maybe the top 2 or 3 takeaways from having worked together so far.
Yeah. You know, I could say a lot of things because there has been a lot. We could talk about honoring the words. We could talk about presence, feeling in the moment, developing my emotional range. But I think beyond the technical sides of things, in working together with you and through, showing up for our weekly meetings, it really made me realize something and have a big shift that I don't know if I otherwise would have came to that conclusion if I wasn't working on my delivery actively and the way that I was speaking. But that realization is that I don't want to be in a box with the type of content that I'm putting out. And, the type of impact that I'm having. And when I realized that, it changed everything for me because now I feel like I can actually utilize a lot of the tools that, we talked about in practice, like, honoring the words and expanding the emotional range, even some vocabulary stuff, or making it sound, making my delivery more accessible to a broader range of people,
Hmm.
not trying to, yeah, in the past I thought that using complicated words and things like that might be good, but it's actually in many cases, not the route that you want to take. But the technical stuff aside, I realized that in learning those tools, I wouldn't be able to apply them to the fullest extent if I was still creating content in a box. If I was still, stuck playing this persona or being this person that I didn't really want to be anymore. And so
Oh, let me
a lot of it was like,
let me just jump in before we go. And who is that person that you don't want to be anymore? Like, just so we can just dive into that a little bit. Sorry to cut you off, bro, but that's such a really important point.
yeah, no, for sure. I think that person, we can call him, just for the sake of this, we can call him Nate 1.0. But this Nate 1.0 person uh, is basically just a mime to all of these other, successful, quite polished entrepreneurs or individuals that are also creating content. Because the way that my brain works and the way that my team works is we're very, we're very logical. We're very data driven. We're a group of young males trying to make money. And
Hmm.
so what do we do is we just dissect and reverse engineer the people who are ahead of us, who are making a lot of money with their content, and we try to emulate that and do the same.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is it doesn't give me any creative freedom or expression to truly be myself. In which case, if I was truly being myself, I probably would pull more views and have a bigger impact, right? And so
Yeah.
that was sort of the
Guaranteed.
realization that I had through working with you. But it took me learning speaking on another level and developing all these tools to realize, wait a second, I don't even know if I can use all of these tools that I'm learning properly because I don't feel it from within.
Mm.
And so once I made that shift, I feel like, we had this point a few months into working together where things were going well, we're progressing, I'm learning a lot,
Hmm.
but then everything just clicked. And when everything clicked, it was because of that shift.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that call. It was a very powerful call. There was no going over or rehearsing or using the tools, strategies. It was one of those deep conversations that I could see your brain turning. It was like your soul stirred as well. It wasn't just the brain, it was everything, right? It was all at once, and it was a really powerful session. And it's one of those things, to witness that and be part of that, that had to come from within inside you. There was no way I could have ever have forced that on you. Not that I would have wanted to anyway, but it was just really interesting. And so now you're in a place where over the rest of the coming year, you have a lot more clarity on who you are and how you want to show up on camera and on the videos. And that's extremely powerful. So now I'd like to ask you about what have been the toughest things through the process. What have you found the most challenging and the most difficult?
Yeah, I think the toughest things is probably just committing to the process and the amount of work that goes into, fundamentally rewiring or changing the way that you go about things and you deliver presentations. And so to make that more clear, like before working together, it was like I didn't really put any thought or any effort or any work into the production process.
Hmm.
For me specifically, it's content. For a lot of people, it might be more so presentations or whatever. But at least on the content side, I
Hmm.
didn't really put a lot of thought or effort. There was no warm up. There was no reps. There was no intention on the production side because the assumption was that all of the work and effort beforehand would just allow me to sit in front of the camera
Okay.
and deliver this amazing presentation that would do well and leave an impact. And
Hmm.
of course, it does. Like you can brute force your way to, where we got. Like before I even joined the program, I'd been a content creator for years. Still done significantly well.
Yep.
But after working together, it's just that realization that okay, this is a whole other skill. This is a whole other vertical that I need to develop myself in order to see better and better results. Because previously, I would put all my time and energy and focus into let's improve the scripts, let's improve the packaging, let's improve the topic, let's improve, expanding the niche. But no, 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 no. Let's improve the delivery. Let's
Yes.
improve how I show up on camera,
Hmm.
right? And the hardest part about that is like consciously making the commitment to a never-ending ongoing process and developmental journey,
Yep.
which, by the way, is also the best part of it. So the most difficult part of it is also the best part of it at the same time, because the journey in and of itself and seeing yourself get better and improve video after video is fun. It's fulfilling. It's enjoyable to see yourself, leveling up in a new realm that you didn't really explore much before,
Mm-hmm.
or developing a new skill set. But it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of effort. Your mind might be going a mile a minute sometimes, especially in the earlier stages of our calls when we were working on gestures, and we were working on body language, and we were working on eye contact and all of these things. And so
Yep.
now I have, in the back of my mind, I have all these different things running at once. But over time it becomes second nature, and some of those switches turn off and you can just free flow. And then that's the
Yep.
coolest part, because then you watch yourself at the beginning and then you watch yourself at the end, and you're like, wow, a lot of that stuff is now happening on autopilot. And I think
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's part of the goal is to get it to that point where it is happening on autopilot.
Of course. And in the bigger scheme of things of your entire life, your entire professional career, was it 5 or 6 months to get to a point where you've got this new minimum level of skill that is very different from where you were before? That's worth it. But of course, it does take consistent effort as well. The great thing is that you're producing content all the time. So this works great for when, you've got somebody in, your position, somebody like you who is having to create content all the time. So you're able to put the reps in and it's already part of what you're doing already. But it's a mindset shift and a half when you haven't been in a place where you've considered delivery before.
100%. Yeah, I'm also blessed and fortunate to be in a position, as you said, where I can, just constantly get up to bat every single day and take those stabs and, put in those reps and
Yeah.
still post it, by the way. I think it's important to, you know, still be posting videos even if your delivery is far from where it could be.
Of course.
Uh, because then, you can also look back on the journey, but people can also see from the outside. And I have had numerous people come up to me or mention online that, wow, your delivery seems like way different, or, you've been speaking way better in some of these recent videos or in this VSL or these kind of things. And being able to get that feedback live from team members, from clients, from, just the general masses, the viewers as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really an enjoyable feeling.
Happy days, man. All right. So I've got two more things. What's the process of working with me been like?
It's just been fantastic. I mean, from the first from the first call that we had, just getting to know you as a genuine, awesome human being that really cares about his clients, and not only cares about his clients performance and work and how they show up, whether it be content or presentations, but just cares, about their clients in life. I
Mhm.
think, that relationship aspect is huge. And I mean, we've both had back and forths about shit that's been going on in our lives,
Yeah.
even throughout working together.
Yeah.
Um, and that's been a breath of fresh air because it's not every single day that you get to work with people just behind a screen that truly care on that level as well.
Mm.
So that's one thing, just a testament to who you are and your character as a
Thanks, man.
person. But then on the speaking side of things, of course, I can't think of anybody better to go to. I've watched tons of YouTube videos and I've, done my own research on how to level up my speaking, but it really doesn't hit the same until you're in the same room with someone who has walked that path before, who has, been in the game for so many years, who's had
Mhm.
so much experience, and you can just feel that, when we're on the call together. And even that is not to be understated because I feel like I become a better speaker just because of osmosis, like just like being around you and hearing you speak and the conversations that we have back and forth.
Mhm.
It just kind of rubs off on me, and then I carry that out into the rest of my day and into my relationships and into
Yeah.
my work. So that's just another cherry on top as well.
No, I love that, and I appreciate the kind words, man. I think what's really important about that is that you are this sponge for the right knowledge, and I think that is the right mindset if you want to get the most out of like, one-to-one coaching like this. It really is. There's you don't take anything to heart. You take it on board, you process it, you take what you want, you throw away what you don't resonate with, and that's really important as well. Okay, thank you for that. And to wrap this up now, who would you say, in your opinion, having gone through this, if you think about the business world, who is this kind of this high level, high touch, one to one coaching ideal for, in your opinion, having gone through it for like 5, 6 months?
Hmm. That's a good question because the hard part about that question is that this program really does serve anyone and everyone. Now, of course, not everyone would be able to afford it. Not everybody would be in a position where they're ready to invest in themselves and their speaking ability, their delivery, these kinds of things. But the craziest thing is, I would say if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a content creator, if you're someone that earns an income, so you can, directly make more money because of better delivery. Something like this face to face would make a lot of sense. But again, the craziest part is you're going to see benefit in all the other aspects of your life as well. You know,
Mm,
it's just so fundamentally important. Like your speaking and your delivery is something, it's a tool that you're going to use every day for the rest of your life in
amen.
every human interaction, work or not.
Hmm.
So I really do feel like there's value in this waiting for anyone, whomever they might be. And I know that that might not be the answer that you're looking for, but it
Hey,
genuinely is the
uh,
truth.
I'm I'm asking for your answer, bro. I mean, it doesn't exactly help me in niching with an industry, right?
Yeah.
But you know what this is? No, and I agree with you because most people speak on a daily basis, and especially if you're a business owner, you're either speaking to your clients, your prospects, your team, the YouTube, the world out there, that kind of stuff. So it is such a fundamental core skill. Absolutely. And it's just something, if you think about school, it's never taught in schools, which I just find mind blowing,
Yeah.
So
And you know what? Now I'm sort of interject, but now I'm so aware of it because
mm,
I'm like, when I hear someone speaking, whether it be a friend or a family member, or, I'm out at an event or a conference, instantly I'm like, okay, that's a good speaker. Or 95% of cases with the general public, I'm like, oof,
yeah,
that that delivery needs some work. Like that's not going to captivate anybody. Everyone's sleeping here
yeah,
listening to this,
yeah, absolutely. And it's really interesting because once you know what works and why it works, you can't go back. It's not possible. You have this whole other level of awareness of what truly connects and engages with another human being that you see, like you say, 95% of people are just walking around and they have no clue. They've got what I call vomiticus content in artem, puking content, and they don't even know it, bro. And that's why for me I love this stuff, because it can have such a fundamental impact uh, on an individual. And I know it's had a big impact on you so far, and I'm really looking forward to working with you throughout the rest of 2026 and to see what you do, and for us to revisit on another video maybe towards the end of the year and see where you're at then. So Nathan, thanks man. I really appreciate you sharing this and being so open and honest. And if you are watching this video and you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, or an exec, and you want to improve your speaking skills, just hit the link wherever this video is. It'll be on my website. I'll go to my Instagram or LinkedIn, and yeah, let's see if I can support you to have a fun time and a transformative time like Nathan has as well, man. I really appreciate it, bro. Thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, appreciate you too, Stephen. Looking forward to everything that's to come. And this is really just the beginning of the never-ending journey.
Absolutely, man.